Welcome back, everyone, to the High Tempo Sports Podcast, episode 148. Today, we are back in our regular setup, back in the studio, back in the stew.
In the stew.
And today, we are here to talk about our top 10 shooting guards in the NBA. Quickly, if you did not listen to our last episode, we did a candy draft with Seth and Jake. It was Jake's first time on the podcast. Don't hate on him too hard. I know he had a terrible draft, but he did a decent job. He made a couple laughs, you know? Like, he laughed a few times. Yeah. That was the goal for Jake.
Yeah, he was definitely funny. Like, he's definitely a character to have on the podcast.
Like Almond Joy.
Like, he was the only dude on the podcast that likes almonds. We need a guy like that. Need a guy like that.
Every friend group needs a dude that likes almonds. But yeah, go check that out. Also, we're really close to 5,000 followers on TikTok. So if you have a TikTok page and don't follow us, what are you doing?
Hating. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, give us a follow. And then go check us out on everything else. Obviously, like I said, today we're here to do our top 10 shooting guards in the NBA. But we're also, that's pretty much the main topic. We did a quiz last episode, or 2 episodes ago, I guess, where I quizzed Easton on 3 players and guessing their team. And it was really fun. So we have 3 players for each other now today. So that will be fun. And then we're going to talk about a lot of news, mainly surrounded around the NFL that has been going on in the last week or so.
Yeah, because they dropped a bombshell on Monday.
Yeah.
Just a ton of information.
And MLB Trade Deadline. We'll mention that a little bit too. Mm-hmm. So is that pretty much it for the intro? Like, do we got anything else to mention?
No, I think you nailed it. I think you nailed. Go check out the last episode. It was funny. The audio was a little goofy.
The audio is a little goofy, but it was just because it's our location. Like, we were in a different spot. We're back in the regular spot now. So if you're listening to on audio, you're probably realizing, whoa, this is way more crisp. This is way more clean.
This sounds fire.
Exactly.
Yeah. Shout out the new pod track. I don't even think we mentioned it.
I kind of mentioned it a little bit. Like, we have a new machine, but yeah, like, that's why the new intro song. We have a new podcast thing. We still have the other one, so like, if we have to go back to it, we can. But we're gonna think of we might even make our own intro song. Low-key.
Yeah, low-key, we were thinking a spit.
Because obviously the weekly pick song is on the other pod.
We were gonna make a new one anyways.
Yeah, we were. But the other one's just so good. It's so catchy.
Like, it's crazy that we made a song that good.
I know. Season 3 of Weekly Picks is coming soon. Like, I'm hyped to do that.
Is it tied right now? Is it 1-1?
I can't remember.
I think it is.
I honestly don't, because you won week 1, right? You made the crazy comeback.
Yeah,
or year 1. Did I win season 2? I think I don't.
Did we
really
only
remember.
do season 1 of Weekly Picks?
No, we did. We've done 2 seasons.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess it's in my notebook. I'll have to
figure
look
out.
at some point.
This is an important year for though.
Yeah,
year
I know.
3
Like, if this is a tiebreaker, then that's crazy.
Yeah, it's big.
All right, but let's hop into the news. Right into it. Desean Watson is like the main topic right now in the NFL world. We've been waiting to see what the decision will be on Desean Watson's suspension, because obviously he should be suspended. And the judge of the court or whatever ruled that the NFL should give him a 6-game suspension for all the lawsuits and everything that he was facing. And just that happened, what, Monday or yesterday?
Monday.
Today is Wednesday, by the way.
Monday, all the news came out, I think.
Yeah. And then today, the NFL comes out and says they are going to appeal Desean Watson's suspension to make it longer. And they say they want to make it a year-long suspension along with a large money fine along with his suspension. And then the NFLPA shortly after says they are going to sue the NFL for appealing Desean Watson's suspension. So Jake's calling me. Like,
he's probably
why is he calling me? He
knows
what we're doing.
And we know he knows. I know why he's calling you. It's about Minecraft.
Jake, we're doing more important things in Minecraft right now.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's a bold statement.
Bold.
But, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with Desean Watson today. Obviously, immediately when the NFL said they're going to appeal his suspension today, my first thought, and I think most people's first thought, was, are they trying to get rid of his suspension? Which would just make no sense.
No.
It doesn't make sense, obviously, from a that is wrong standpoint, but it's also just from a PR standpoint. Like, that's just not good news for the NFL. Like, that if they did try to remove his suspension, it's going to do nothing but bad for the NFL.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that it should be a longer suspension.
It's a pretty horrendous look out of the NFL to give Calvin Ridley a year-long suspension because it involved money. Mm-hmm. And now that Desean Watson, obviously there's a lot of court stuff going on, but it involves people and women. a 6-game suspension and appealing it to maybe get it lessened is crazy. I assume they're appealing it to get it more. I hope that's what they're doing.
They are, and they've said that they want it to be at least a year.
It needs to be.
It needs to be. I mean, like it
just contradicts the Calvin Ridley suspension. If this guy, for whatever he did to women, doesn't get a year, but the guy who gambled
$1,500,
$1,000 on a game, that shows where your priorities
even with
are.
The team.
Shows where your priorities are.
Exactly,
It's a serious
the
issue.
NFL has had a history of giving very small suspensions to players that get in trouble for domestic violence or just any sort of abuse like that. Obviously, Kareem Hunt didn't get a very long suspension. Ray Rice got a 2-game suspension for his thing years back. There's plenty
wild.
of yeah.
That's
There's
the
plenty of other
thing.
and Ray Rice did really never return to the NFL, but still they ruled him a 2-game suspension.
There was one of Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, Adrian Peterson with the child abuse. It's a lot of shady looks for the NFL in the past, so they need to get this one right because I don't care what you believe in, what Desean Watson, if you're a Texans fan, a Browns fan, what Desean Watson did is wrong. And it's not something that I just still can't believe that the Browns gave him $230 million guaranteed, knowing that all this is gonna go down. Just because he got all the cases, whatever, I don't even know what the word is for it, dismissed or whatever, he still violated several NFL policies and rules, which is why he is getting the suspension.
There was an insane amount of other things going on that instantly point to some shady stuff. The team quit buying his masseuses. They started having to outsource masseuses because nobody would massage him anymore.
Yeah.
And all this is going on, and the NFL knew about it. The Houston Texans knew what was going on. They knew why masseuses wouldn't come back and why they had to go and get other ones.
Yeah.
They had to get inexperienced ones because nobody would do it. It's just crazy, and it would surprise me if it was any other team other than the Browns.
I know. It's just classic Browns. Haven't had a good quarterback in history. The one that finally took you to the playoffs and won, now everyone all the fan base hates.
Because you have a shit fan base.
And then you finally get a QB that looks like, this guy actually is going to he's going to step in and be the greatest quarterback in Browns history. The dude, who knows if he's ever even going to play?
He could very well never see
I assume he will, but who knows,
Yeah, it's sad to say, but he is too talented to never play again.
Right. So is Miles Bridges. And there's 100% a world where he never plays again.
Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of this situation goes down with Desean because obviously the NFLPA is going to sue them over the appeal. I wonder why. I don't know if that has something to do with Desean being involved with the NFLPA. I'm not sure if he is involved, but that's pretty much it. We'll see what goes down. But Jacoby Brissett is the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns as of right now.
Yeah.
So.
Which makes it a scary fantasy year for anybody who
I'll take
Browns
Nick
players.
Chubb.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt down after this.
Poopy.
Next thing in the NFL, Deebo Samuel and the 49ers have finally come to a resolution. Deebo signs a 3-year, $72 million extension, the same deal that DK Metcalf got, same deal that Terry McLaurin got. Deebo Samuel got $0.1 million less guaranteed than DK, though. So
that's messed up.
They must have. There's no way they just looked at that. I think DK got 58.2 and Deebo got 58.1.
Deebo's probably pissed.
That's so
He's
weird.
Probably hot.
But I actually personally haven't looked at this, but I just saw this. Apparently, in Deebo's contract, there is incentives for him with running the football because the big thing was about him how he doesn't want to run the ball anymore because if he's not getting paid as a running back and a wide receiver. But apparently there is multiple incentives like bonuses he can get for a certain amount of rushing touchdowns on the year, certain amount of rushing yards, and certain amount of carries. So that adds Deebo Samuel fantasy value back up. I was scared to draft him, but
now it's he's a sure shot.
Yeah.
He's running the football a little bit. That was what made him so dynamic last year. He could be a monster this year in fantasy. With the he's CMC basically. He's another except he's more in the slot than he is in the backfield. But you will see CMC line up in the slot. But it's just the open field and what is the word I'm looking for? It's diversity of touches. The different ways he gets his touches. That's what you kind of look for as a fantasy guy. This guy's going to get 30 touches a game in 10 different ways.
Yeah.
Jet sweeps, coming to slants across the middle. He'll take the deep ball. I'm really excited for Debo this year.
Same. Like, I definitely like Debo, and I was scared to draft him coming into this because obviously he didn't even want to be on the 49ers, but now I 100% will, like, if he's there at a reasonable pick, I will be taking him.
That's a team I think everybody should be excited to watch this year.
Because Trey Lance is the QB now.
They should be a ton of fun. Ton of fun, especially if Debo's happy.
They were fun last year, too, like, and with Jimmy G as your quarterback. Like, if Jimmy G's your quarterback and you're a fun team, that's saying a lot. So now you had Trey Lance, who's going to come in and instantly be one of the most, like, athletic quarterbacks in the NFL. Sign me up.
Incredible
to watch
arm
them.
talent.
Yeah.
As in how far he can throw the football.
Exactly.
It's going to be pretty hype.
6'5", but can run. Like, I'm excited to watch them.
Going to be hype.
We're definitely going to talk a lot more about fantasy. We're going to do a lot of fantasy football segments coming up leading into the NFL season because obviously me and Easton are big fantasy guys. And we're just like, we've been talking a lot about it off camera lately, so why not talk about it on camera?
Yeah, and like fantasy was the reason I really got into football. Like it instantly was like, holy shit! It's so easy to follow along.
It is
when you're playing.
You learn
fantasy,
so many players,
especially if you're in a league with your buddies and you're competitive, the way we all are. It makes it so easy to follow along with every team, what's going on in the NFL. And I'm really excited. I think we should do a lot fantasy-wise.
Oh, definitely. We'll do a lot of fantasy segments, especially like who to start on this week.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna have episodes where obviously we did weekly picks, but like we'll do an entire episode talking about weekly picks, over under for yards for guys.
Yep.
Like what guys who we think you should start this week, what guys you should sit this week. Like that will be the entire episode.
Yeah.
So
buy
for you
low,
NFL
sell
fans,
high, guys.
like exactly. Like guys who you should trade for in your leagues, stuff like that. It's just fantasy advice. We're just two random guys. So like if we're wrong,
we're not experts.
Sorry, but
we are not experts.
Exactly. And me and Easton aren't in a fantasy league together, which honestly, like I would like to be, but it's kind of a good thing because then we have no bias talking to each other about fantasy.
we can say anything we
Except
want.
we are in one fantasy league together.
Yeah.
We might as well mention that.
Yeah, should explain it.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a 14-man fantasy league this year, where each week we're gonna do a draft with a random order every single week, where you get to draft a team for the week. And you have to use fantasy players strictly from that team. Set a lineup from that team. I draft the Lions for that week. I got Jared Goat as my quarterback, Swift and Jamal as the RBs, DJ Chark, Amon-Ra, and Jamison Williams as my receivers, and Hawk as my tight end with Lions defense and Riley Patterson as my kicker. Like,
it's going to be an awesome idea.
It's going to be crazy fun because you would think like, oh, the Rams or the Bucks or the Bills are going to go, the top 3 picks every week. Well, what if the Rams and Bucks are playing each other?
Who
I
plays the Jags?
Yeah, I don't want to pick either one of those teams. Let me pick up whoever's playing the Jets, who's playing the Texans, So it's going to be really fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot. Who's playing the Bears this week?
Exactly.
Let's take them every week. You will have
the
a good
Lions
fantasy.
will get picked every week, too.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to extend it into the playoffs, too. So, like, the playoffs in real life, like, we'll be picking from the playoff teams in our league. So, like, we will go all the way up to the Super Bowl.
Our Super Bowl will have our fantasy league on the line and just Super Bowl will be on the line.
We should put some money in it, like, just because.
Yeah, and we were talking about the punishment. The punishment needs to be something crazy that we all do right after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It has to be something you can do immediately because we'll all be there for the Super Bowl anyways.
True. Everyone's going to watch it.
We'll all be together, hopefully.
We'll have to talk about that for sure. So, yeah, that's our new fantasy league. We're super excited for that. We'll definitely talk about that every week, too, like what team we got for the week and everything. And it'll be easy because we have weekly picks, so we know who's playing who. Like, we got that on deck.
Facts.
Let's talk about the Miami Dolphins because the same day as the Desean Watson news, owner Stephen Ross and the Miami Dolphins were punished for the tampering of Tom Brady and then with the stuff with Brian Flores, the bribing of him to tank games, to get paid to tank games. The Dolphins lose their 2023 first-round pick. It was either their second or third in 2024. And then Stephen Ross was fined like $1.5 million, and he'll be suspended until like week 7 of the season. So a pretty harsh punishment for the Miami Dolphins, which it's not a good look, obviously, but they had a lot of drama this offseason with the Brian Flores situation. So at least it's somewhat resolved, but we'll see how much it maybe extends.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because as much as this might affect them, it doesn't feel like it's affecting them that much.
Right.
Like, it feels like on the field, they should be fine.
Yeah, definitely.
They should just go out there and compete and do everything right.
So, like, my question is, what if they just, like, let's just say, hypothetically, something wrong?
Yeah, I'm just adjusting my levels.
Oh, okay.
My levels are goofy.
So let's just say hypothetically, the Dolphins have a horrible year. Like a bunch of their top guys get hurt. They suck. Worst team in the league coming into the draft. They get the first overall pick. Does that just there's no one that gets picked first that year?
Or do they just
no one gets the pick?
Is there a 31 round?
Yeah,
draft?
It's probably just 30. Yeah, it's probably just 31 picks in the first round.
They probably won't even consider them the whole year.
Yeah,
they could be the worst team in the NFL.
It would just be so funny if they got it and they were just like, the first overall pick is no one. Second overall pick is this guy.
We took away. There's no first overall pick this year. There isn't
you
one.
look it up in history, former first overall picks.
Not available.
2023, there's just no one there. That would be funny.
NA, not available. He wasn't around.
Yeah.
He actually missed. He's tripped on his way up to the podium. Didn't make it. He hit his head.
Exactly. So quickly, let's talk about MLB trade deadline, because probably the biggest trade deadline in MLB history as far as one trade. Juan Soto gets traded from the Washington Nationals to the San Diego Padres. We've never really seen a guy of Juan Soto's caliber at his age ever be traded in the MLB. At 23 years old, he's already one of the best hitters so far in his career that we've ever seen. And he's so young, and he forms a great trio now with Fernando Tatis and Manny Machado. And then the Padres also got Josh Hader and Brandon Drury, who's both on my fantasy team, by the way, who are balling out this year.
The Brewers were involved in this trade?
Yeah, those are two separate trades. The Padres just went balled out. They got Josh Hader. They balled out at the deadline, bought everyone. They have one of the best farm systems in the MLB, but they traded everyone away to go for it all. But their team's going to be loaded. Getting Juan Soto and Tatis,
loaded.
That's just a crazy duo. So I'm excited to see how they play.
Is there a duo better in the MLB than those two?
That's what I'm trying to think. Tatis hasn't played this year, so
Is Judge and Rizzo?
I was gonna say Judge and Stanton maybe, but Judge and Rizzo, that you could also say them too.
That's right.
Judge and anyone, right?
I know
now.
baseball.
Judge is on his path to hit 70 homers, so
he's his own. He's his own best duo.
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
MLB.
Right. Well, I mean, no, actually, Ohtani and Trout is the best duo.
Oh yeah,
but they just suck. Their team sucks, so doesn't really even count.
But they do pitch.
Yeah,
that's the only duo that pitches.
Hit, so
they both hit.
Exactly.
Two of the best ever.
So, that's pretty much it, though. The Tigers didn't do much. They traded Michael Fulmer to the Twins for a terrible prospect, and they traded Robbie Grossman to the Braves for a terrible prospect. So, shout out Al Avila for just being great.
Pretty crazy that my feed on all accounts, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I mean, I do it all. I'm a 3-sport athlete. I didn't see Juan Soto got traded.
No way you didn't, dude.
Nowhere on my whole feed.
When did you find out?
You just broke the news.
No way. There's no shot. There's no way. No way. That was the craziest thing ever.
You are ESPN to me. You are my sports center.
Yeah, you got traded to the Padres.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
So for who again?
It was you're not gonna know any of the guys, but it's just
prospects?
A bunch of prospects.
Gotcha.
And then the drama was, you know who Eric Hosmer is? He's on the Padres first baseman.
Yeah,
you might know who he is.
No, I recognize the name.
Yeah. So he got traded. He was the only MLB player that got I mean, they have a couple prospects that have been going up and down, but he was the only solidified veteran that got moved to the Nationals. But Hosmer has a no trade clause in his contract, and he already has a list of before he even got traded, a teams that I won't accept to be traded to. The Nationals was one of them. So this trade got broke, and everyone's like it got released and everything. But Hosmer said, no, I'm not going to the Nationals.
Yeah.
So the trade just got put on pause, and it's just is this not even going to happen? So they end up trading a different guy, Luke Voigt, who's another first baseman, to the Nationals. And they had to trade Hosmer somewhere else because that's just super awkward.
Yeah,
imagine they just, all right, I guess we'll keep you then.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to
so they traded him to the Red Sox instead, where he did accept to go to.
Good.
So imagine being a Nationals fan. Not only did you trade away Juan Soto,
you didn't get the players that you were supposed to.
The one player that was gonna come to your team was nah, I ain't coming there.
So who's the first baseman now?
Josh Bell. They got Josh Bell from the Nationals, who's
Damn.
They got Juan Soto and Josh Bell.
He's pretty good, isn't
he? Yeah, he's having a really good year.
I thought he was.
He's better than Eric Hosmer. So
How did the Nationals do that?
The Padres had a crazy trade
they
deadline.
fleeced
They
them.
they didn't fleece because they gave up a haul to get him, a lot of good prospects. But
It was like a championship move.
it's a
deal.
championship move, 100%.
Gotcha.
But the Tigers did just destroy the Padres before the trade deadline. So
It's what happens.
Tigers
We do it all the time.
Last thing, we got to talk about MSU because MSU basketball recruiting has been popping off.
It's like I've seen 6 dudes. It feels like in the last 2 weeks,
And it's
commit
not.
to
It is
MSU.
not stopping.
What do you mean? You're gonna run out
So
of
let's
roster spots.
let's turn back the clock here for all of you MSU fans and for all you Michigan fans that have to just listen to this. I love how I didn't even realize we're both rocking the clashing.
So weird.
I know, that is
so
weird.
We did not plan that.
So Jeremy Fears Jr. Is a point guard that committed to us, high 4-star point guard. He probably will go 5-star at some point. Back maybe a month or two ago, 2023. He has become the biggest player recruiter I've ever seen in state history. Because he's played a lot of top AAU ball, so he knows a lot of the dudes. Mm-hmm. Xavier Booker obviously committed to MSU last weekend. He's a 5-star on most sites. 24/7 hasn't updated their site yet, but he will be on Rivals. He's the number 1 player in the class, so he technically is the highest recruit in MSU history on Rivals. Center. He's going to be really good. Probably will be one and done. He'll probably go high in the draft.
Yeah, we probably just have to hope he doesn't decommit.
No, this is not an Imani situation.
Okay,
this is a group of guys.
Oh, they're friends.
Yeah, they're all Booker and Fears played AU together.
Oh.
They're a duo.
Oh, shit.
Exactly.
So Izzo knew what he was doing.
Yes. And then last night, thanks to Matt McQuaid, who is part of MSU's coaching staff, we get Garrick Normand, a 4-star from Texas. He's a big wing, really good scorer. Defense isn't quite there yet. But then all 3 of them dudes, Fears, Booker, and Normand, as soon as Garrick committed, hopped in Instagram Live together and added in this other top 50 4-star, Cohen Carr, to their live. And we're just pretty much telling, bro, you got to come to state. Because he just took a visit to state, and he's committing next week. So
egging him on.
Exactly. You're coming to state, dude. And they're all class of 2023. And then even to add on to it, today, a dude that played with Jeremy Fears in AU, shooting
big
guard.
white kid?
No, the big white kid was a dude who committed last night to state.
Gotcha.
Last night, or actually today, combo guard from Purdue, high 4-star, top 50 4-star, decommitted from Purdue, and he played with Jeremy Fears in AU, and it's already rumored that Michigan State is likely to land him, who's another 2023 guy.
Damn.
So we might get 5 dudes from 2023. Are we gonna have the room?
Probably not. Not even
tell everyone else to get out. This will be the best class in state history.
That should be your Fab 5. You guys should start every single one because you have no talent currently on the roster.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Seriously.
Except when Jaden Akins becomes Big Ten Player of the Year.
Well, other than Jaden Akins. Jaden Akins can start at the 2.
Hogard?
Hogard is he won't start. He shouldn't be starting.
So,
in a couple of
what
years.
I'm saying is this upcoming year for MSU, we still should be solid, but I'm looking into the future.
Yeah.
Jeremy Fears will be the next elite guard in state history. Xavier Booker might be one and done, so obviously we'll see how that goes.
So these are all next year's recruits, right?
Yeah,
all next year.
They won't play this year.
Yeah,
It's all
next
2023. Year.
So you'll still have to deal with Hunter Dickinson. He'll probably be a senior.
Yeah, we will still have to. But Xavier Booker will shut him down.
No, he won't, dude. That's wild.
Exactly.
That is wild.
It is. It's not wild. It is going to happen. Do you have any Michigan things you want to add?
No.
While we get into it?
Yeah. There's just nothing been going on. We've been flopping in our recruiting. We're just hopeful.
They did get that one foreign dude a month ago. I forget what his name is, but the foreign dudes usually work out for Michigan.
They always do. I mean, we're the best at recruiting them in the Big Ten. Yeah, probably.
Luka Garza.
I mean, yeah, he was solid, but we had 10 of them in a row.
Yeah, you're right. You're probably right.
We had
off
so
the top
many.
of my head.
Yeah, Ignas Brazdeikis, the Wagner brothers, that alone is better than Garza.
All right. Quickly, I do want to say rest in peace to Bill Russell because we haven't talked since he's been on. Yeah. Obviously, one of the legends, not just as a player, but he's the first black coach in NBA history as well. Just a legend in the sport.
Absolutely. Player coach. Who's going to hand the award now? It's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally,
Bill Russell Finals MVP.
Who's going to hand the award?
Exactly. It's the still one of my favorite clips ever is one of him flipping off Charles Barkley at the ESPYs. That's just hilarious.
I didn't realize there's another clip of him doing it when he's sitting on the sideline.
Really?
And he stands up and just flips the bird at some guy.
He was definitely hilarious as an old dude.
Yeah, absolutely. And the announcer. Who's the announcer? For the Dodgers.
Vin Scully.
Vin Scully.
Yeah, Vin Scully, rest in peace to him. One of, if not the greatest baseball commentators ever. So, 100%.
Absolutely.
All right, are we ready to start doing this quiz?
Yeah.
So we're back. 3 players, got to name every team they played for. 3 role players, pretty much. Do we want to go like back and forth?
Yeah, but you should start. I should have the last one. Because like my last one's going to be, I think, the hardest.
All right.
It's going to be the most fun.
I don't think I have like because last time I feel like I did an easy, medium, hard. I think all 3 of these guys are like on the same level of like difficulty. Quick question though. 2 of these guys joined a new team this offseason. Do you want me to make you guess that team as well?
No, I won't make you guess these 2 guys, even though you know. I have 2 guys that joined a new team as well.
All right, okay. So my first player.
What difference does it make? I'll be able to, I hope.
Yeah, let's make them. Yeah, let's make you guess them.
I hope I can do that.
All right. My first player for you to guess all the teams for is Otto Porter Jr.
Okay. Started his career in Washington.
Correct.
Was drafted to Washington. Let me get the Warriors out of the way.
Warriors is out of the way.
Did he go to Philly this offseason?
He did not go to Philly this offseason.
He went to a contender.
He went to I would say they are not on the Philly level of contender, but they are like a playoff team.
Oh, man. Where was he in between that whole time? I can picture where. Not the Nets.
Not the Nets.
Damn. This is a bad start. Do you
want me to tell you the amount of teams?
Yeah.
2 teams in between Washington and Golden State, and then the team that he signed to.
Dude, where was he?
One of the teams, he was there for like 3 years, like spent a good amount of time there, and then got traded to this other team just for half of a year, and then signed to Golden State. So
I think I guess this team every time. Is it Portland?
No.
Okay. Otto Porter, big wing, good. Not the Nuggets.
Like he left Washington, went to this other team, and was there for like 3.5 years.
Was this team relevant?
Yes. They were relevant just because of their team. Like I don't know if they were like crazy good every year, but like they're a good like franchise, I guess.
Gotcha. Okay. Damn, dude.
It's a tough start. It's a
bad start.
It's a bad start.
This is a bad start.
Maybe I should have started with a different one.
Did he go to Phoenix?
No, did not go to Phoenix.
That one felt right. I could picture him in a Phoenix jersey.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I thought him and Gerald Green looked alike.
I low-key could see him in the. He does kind of look like Gerald Green.
Kind of
does.
Gerald Green, but with 10 fingers.
Yeah, but he looks a lot more like Wilt.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. On this team, he definitely rocked the goggles, if that helps. Like, he was rocking the goggles on this team.
I feel like after Washington, before he got to Golden State, I can barely even... I thought he went Washington to Golden State low-key. Like, very low-key. I did not think he...
2 teams.
Did he stay in the West the whole time? Has he ever been in... Oh, I guess Washington.
Both of these teams are in the East. Should I just tell you at this point?
Oh, did he play for the Bulls?
He did play for the Bulls. That was the team for like 3 years he was on. Yes.
Okay, and then... I don't know the other team. It'd just be me shooting in the dark.
This other team he played a half year for and then joined Golden State. He was a part of the Nikola Vucevic trade, and he played for Orlando for half of a season.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then now he's signed with the Raptors this offseason.
Yep, not on the same level of contention, but definitely he's
definitely
Raptors
a playoff
player.
team.
Yeah, definitely.
He is he's a 6'8" wing. That's
definitely
literally their entire team.
Yeah.
Fred VanVleet and then a bunch of 6'8" dudes.
Okay, my first guy, I did throw you a softball. Yeah,
all right.
I think you could damn near name every team in order.
Okay, I'll try to.
Went. Nerlens Noel.
Ooh, okay, I like Nerlens Noel. So Philly, obviously.
Yep. Where'd he go after Philly?
Okay, this might not be quite in order, but the OKC Thunder.
Okay. Yep.
I feel like I skipped a team.
You did skip one team.
I know he got drafted by the Pelicans technically, but I don't think he played there. But I'm gonna wait.
He did not.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Out there.
So I have OKC. Oh, the Mavericks.
That was the second team.
Yeah, that was the second team. The Knicks.
Yep.
And the Pistons.
That's it. That's
okay. That's what I thought. I didn't think there was any other ones. So
my next guy is way harder.
Okay. All right. My next guy is Ricky Rubio.
Dude, no way.
Did you do Ricky Rubio?
He was one of my original guys.
Did you look him up?
No.
Okay,
I did not. But I think I can do this.
Yeah, I think this is easier than Otto Porter. I think it is personally.
Minnesota.
Jazz. Cleveland.
Missing what, 2 teams, right?
One team.
Well,
technically, I mean, he got traded to Indiana, like this year with the Karis LeVert trade, but didn't play because he tore his ACL. So I didn't count that.
Did he get traded from the Jazz to the Pacers?
No, I think he's. Wait. No, he got traded from Cleveland this year to the Pacers.
Did he play for Washington?
Did not play for Washington.
Okay.
He played for 1 year with this team, like in between Utah and because he went back to Minnesota actually. So in between Utah and going back to Minnesota, played 1 year for this team, was a starting point guard. And I'll give another hint. He was part of a pretty big trade leaving this team, like when he left this team.
I think I have it. I think it's the Phoenix Suns.
It is the Phoenix Suns. He was a part of the Chris Paul trade, got sent to OKC, and then OKC sent him to Minnesota.
That made me feel a lot better.
Yeah, you got all 4 of those.
Yeah.
Like,
pretty quickly.
yeah,
that was good.
You got the first 3 really quickly.
Yeah.
So, and now he re-signed with Cleveland, which is really cool.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, it is really awesome.
It's cool to see him come back. Like, they didn't end on
clearly
sour terms.
They liked having him. Yeah.
I mean, he was perfect there. He was so
He
good.
did really good. Yeah.
Okay, this next guy. I low-key have, like, an obsession over him. An obsession.
Okay.
Dwayne Dedmon.
Ooh, Dwayne Dedmon is such a hard one. Oh, my God. All right, so let's get Miami out of the way. The Atlanta Hawks.
Yep.
The San Antonio Spurs.
Yep. Yeah, by the way, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 7 teams. So
7
there are
teams?
7.
Holy
His start of his
smokes.
career, he played 4. The first 2 teams, 4 games and 11 games.
Okay, yeah, that's always fun to hear. So okay, this isn't a guess, but he was on the Pistons technically.
Not one of the teams.
Okay, because I know he got traded to them, so I didn't know if that like maybe he played a game or something. So I have the Spurs, Hawks, and Heat, right?
Yeah, and you're missing. There's a team in between the Hawks and Miami.
Ooh, there is.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Bad.
I thought they went.
Irrelevant. That's
Yeah.
why you don't know he was there.
Okay.
He might have only played a couple games. I think.
I'm just trying to think.
No,
of
he played valuable.
early Dwayne Dedmon. Did he play for the Knicks?
Nope.
Oh, damn, that felt right.
He played like 2.5 years for a team that you're missing before the Spurs.
Oh, he played for the Magic?
The Magic.
Yeah, I do remember the Magic.
That's
yeah.
the long one.
Yeah.
The first 2, I didn't. I had no idea he was ever on these.
So I have
rosters.
2 more teams left or 3?
3.
Okay.
And then you're missing Atlanta and
Did
Miami.
any of them he play like more than a game or 2 on?
Yeah, the one in between Atlanta and Miami. I think he played.
Oh, I still am missing that one?
Yeah, I think he played like a lot. I didn't write it down, which tells me it's a substantial and enough number.
I'm feeling the Clippers.
Nope.
The Lakers.
No.
Oh, I thought LA was one. All
No,
right, I'm gonna.
it's in the West.
Okay.
Bad.
I'm gonna think.
And they're irrelevant.
Oh, he played for the Suns.
No, he did not.
All right, you might as well just tell me then, because I'm not gonna get him.
Sacramento was in between Atlanta.
Oh
and Miami.
yeah, he did play for them. Damn.
He was drafted to Golden State. Played 4 games there.
Wouldn't have never got that.
Played 11 games in Philly.
Damn.
11 games in Philly.
I low-key was gonna say Philly, not gonna lie, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
I should have got Sacramento. That one hurts. That one hurts.
See, I don't remember him being on the Kings.
I remember that, dude.
I read it and I was like, Kings.
Yeah.
But again, they're irrelevant. So like who
Exactly. Yeah, I guess I should have when you said that I should have immediately.
I haven't watched a Kings game in 2 years.
All right, my last one is low-key it might be the easiest one. Like depending on how deep your knowledge goes. Cuz this guy is definitely the best player out of these 3.
All right.
Last guy
Kyle Lowry.
That one's easy. That's
I mean, he
way
played
too-
on a lot of weird
Yeah, but they're
teams.
so easy though.
Yeah.
Name Kyle Lowry right now.
Rockets, Clippers, Grizzlies, Heat, Raptors.
Not the Clippers.
He was never on the Clippers?
No. But you got the other
dude,
ones.
I thought he was on the
But all those other ones are correct.
Yeah.
That's just it though. All right. My last guy, Danilo Galinari.
Okay, did he start his career for the Nuggets?
The Nuggets is a team, but he did not start his career with the Nuggets.
Dude, prior to there.
See, I feel like I remember this team though. Like you would once I tell you if you don't guess it, you will remember him on this team.
Okay, he's currently on the Celtics.
Currently is on the Celtics.
Was just on the Hawks.
Was just on the Hawks.
Before the Hawks, where was... It's an Eastern Conference team.
No. The first team is Eastern Conference. The team I feel like he is most notable on, you haven't said yet. Maybe it's the Nuggets, but
dude, I see him in the Nuggets jersey.
I think it's this other team.
You know
though.
why I see him in the Nuggets jersey? In 2K, like 12, I used to play as Nate Robinson and Ty Lawson.
Oh, yeah.
And Gallo.
It's
was on
either the
team.
Nuggets or this team he went to after the Nuggets.
And I'm missing that team. Is like in my head, it's not clicking.
I will say he's been a part of some pretty big trades.
Was he on the Rockets?
Was not on the Rockets.
He was a part of some pretty big trades.
Yeah, like a couple of these trades with teams that you haven't said.
Was he on the Nets?
Was not on the Nets.
Teams I haven't said, big trades. So that leaves like the Pelicans.
Well, I'm not saying like this season. Like in general, he's been a part of big trades.
Pelicans.
Not the Pelicans.
I feel like that was a good guess.
You're going to be pissed if you don't say this team because I know you remember him on this team.
Don't say that. And I can picture him in another jersey.
Like the first team he probably spent like 4 or 5 years on. The team after the Nuggets he probably spent 3 or 4 years on. And then the other team he was only on for 1 year.
I could be confusing him with Bargnani, but did he play for the Raptors?
No. Probably confusing with Bargnani, yeah.
Yeah, that was my safe spot. I'm not sure.
Want me to tell you the rest?
Yeah.
Started his career with the New York Knicks. Was a part of the Carmelo
remember.
Anthony trade.
The number 8. No, I don't know number 4.
He might have been number 8. No, I think he was actually.
I remember it.
7 or 8. No, he wasn't 7. Yeah, I think he was 8.
I can only see him in the blue jersey.
I think you're right. He was number 8. Then after Denver, he was a part of the LA Clippers.
I was gonna say that just now, but
and then he was a part of a massive trade with the LA Clippers and the OKC Thunder with the Paul George trade.
The Thunder
played the 1 year with Chris
Paul
when they went to the playoffs that year, and then he was really good and got signed by Atlanta.
Yeah,
so.
he just has bounced around.
He has bounced around. Yeah,
and I guess I didn't.
OKC is kind of a forgotten year.
I thought it was 4 teams max that he played for.
The OKC year is definitely a forgotten year. But the Clippers, I feel like I remember him the most on the Clippers. I don't know what, he was on them teams that didn't have the stars, like the post Blake Griffin, like Tobias Harris.
He was the pieces they got in return.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
My last guy is interesting. He's the biggest name by far that we've done on this.
Okay.
I saw a TikTok the other day about guys that you didn't know played for these organizations.
Is it Vince Carter?
No.
Okay.
It is Tracy McGrady, his cousin.
Ooh, T-Mac.
T-Mac. What teams is he playing for?
All right, so Magic, Rockets, Raptors. Get those out of the way.
Yep, now you have 3 left.
The Detroit Pistons is one of them.
Yes. Do you know how many games he played for the Pistons?
Like less than 10.
72.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I knew he was on there for a whole year, but I thought he was hurt. Are you counting the Spurs?
No, the Spurs aren't on.
Well, because he never played a game for the Spurs, but he was on their team when they went to the finals, or they might have beat the Heat.
No, I do not have the Spurs on here.
I didn't think
but he was on that roster.
But he never played, so I guess that would make sense why he's not.
So you go back and watch the clips, and you can see him on the bench.
Yeah. The Knicks is one of them.
The Knicks. They're missing
so
one.
I have one left.
Yeah, 24 games on the Knicks. He played 52 on this team.
Okay. And where does it fall in the...
It's the last team he played for.
Oh, great. Okay, I got to really think about this one.
I'm going to say it, and you're going to be like, huh? By the way, he played 25 minutes a game for the Pistons, averaged 9 points a game.
Yeah, he's bad. Like, after he left the Rockets, his career really fell off. He's bad on the Knicks, too. I think I know this. I really do think I know this. I just have to think.
I think they were good.
Raptors?
This is a good basketball team, but again, it's 2012.
Yeah.
So, you got to dive back into your good basketball.
I have a guess, but I really don't want I haven't guessed one wrong, so I don't want to guess wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's the Lakers.
It is not.
Oh, I really thought it was the Lakers.
It's an Eastern Conference team.
Okay. Let me keep thinking.
Mm-hmm. This team accomplished a legendary feat that has never happened since.
Like when he was on the team or just in general?
It was either when he was on the team or shortly after.
So this would have been 2012, you said?
Yeah, about 2012.
Something in that range?
Yeah.
A feat that no one else has accomplished. That's throwing me off.
Yeah, maybe just don't think about that.
Yeah.
That was for the viewers.
I'm going to guess... My final guess, I'm going to go with the 76ers.
All right. You want it?
Yeah.
It is the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, I don't think I remember that.
Me either.
Didn't know that.
Didn't know that. He played 52 games for him. But legendary feat was the starting 5 being All-Stars.
Oh, yeah. Yep,
that
you're
was
right.
that
would have been after that, yeah.
Just 2014
probably? Yeah, 2015, I'm pretty sure.
Damn, it was that late.
Damn, I wish I would have got all of that one. At least I got all Nerlens Noel.
Yeah,
Dwayne Dedmon's a good one. That was definitely a really good one to think of.
He's just all over the place.
Yeah.
And there are some other huge names that you could do it with. Dwight Howard would be, I could name him, definitely.
Yeah.
Carmelo Anthony.
But he's still, like Dwight Howard actually is not very easy. Like there's a lot of forgotten years in there. Like
a lot.
Like the Washington year,
Yeah.
the Hornets year, the Hawks year.
All three of those.
All three of those you could easily forget.
And be like, huh?
Double Lakers, the Sixers. I guess we're just naming them all right now.
Melo's pretty crazy. Hawks, Rockets, Thunder.
He never played for the Hawks, though.
Oh, he never played a game?
But he got traded there. Same with the Bulls. He got traded to the Bulls and never played.
Isn't that weird?
I know.
Like Carmelo Anthony
Exactly.
got traded,
Just got bought out.
never played.
All right, so are we ready to hop into this list?
God, no. This list blows.
Top 10 shooting guards in the NBA. Once again, we need a disclaimer for our viewers because clearly the people that watch our TikToks don't have ears. Oh, it's so frustrating. We are doing this off ESPN rosters. I am sorry that Fred VanVleet, DeJounte Murray, Harden, and CJ McCollum are listed as shooting guards. We need a way to keep it consistent.
How do you expect us to do this if we don't have consistency? Without consistency and order, there's chaos.
Yeah, because then I have Harden on my point guards list and you have him on the shooting guards list.
Yeah.
What's the point of even making a list at that point?
We just this is our way of keeping it consistent.
Exactly. We don't agree that Fred VanVleet is a shooting guard. We think he's a point guard, but we have to keep it consistent.
Tell us to go off Basketball Reference. It's not much better. I mean, they've got Cade listed as a shooting guard.
Yeah. Blame ESPN, not us. That's all we're saying. Yeah, that's pretty much our rant for that. And also, guys that aren't shooting guards that you think would be shooting guards, Anthony Edwards is like the only one. He's listed as a small forward, so he will be on the small forwards list. We didn't snub him from the list. He clearly is a top 10 at his position.
Man, dude, your little rant there has me pissed off.
I'm mad. I just because and I can't be that mad because the video did great. It's got 100,000 views, but you just read the comments and it's just. The Fred VanVleet slander is crazy. The DeJounte Murray slander is crazy. Where's James Harden?
Dog, they would make the list if they were
They would
point
be
guards.
on the list. We're not that stupid. Fred VanVleet is obviously top 10 at his position. So
Easily.
is DeJounte Murray. It's frustrating. How many you got any honorable mentions?
Yeah, I only have one right
I got
now.
3. I will list them in order as well because I just like doing that. So.
First guy that missed, Desmond Bane.
Desmond Bane is also my first guy off the list.
Oh, man.
And then followed by Klay Thompson and R.J. Barrett were my 3 honorable mentions.
Okay. I'm really excited for this list.
Yeah.
I think that means we have the exact same top 10.
Because those 2 guys didn't make your list either?
No,
and I
sir.
thought so, too. I thought the top 10 was really easy. I wanted to include Bane, so leaving him off was really tough because I figured he deserved top 10, but he's just off. And not having Klay obviously sucks because I love Klay, but he's just not top 10.
Not top 10.
All right, let's get into it. Number 10, what do you got?
I have. I have.
Let me tell you, this guy at number 10, he's a...
Was that what I sound like?
No, but it's just you just say, number 10 is a guy who, and then you just talk for a minute and then say him.
Number 10 is Cj Mccollum.
Okay.
Recently traded and played really well as the starting point guard of the New Orleans
Pelicans.
Pelicans.
He will be the point guard from now on.
He was great. His playmaking chops really got to show in New Orleans. He's not an insanely good playmaker, but he's definitely better than I gave him credit for in Portland. Obviously, Dame has the ball majority of the time unless he's hurt. But CJ had a great year in New Orleans, and everybody's talking about New Orleans. They're the team next year to really make that leap, maybe a Grizzlies-esque leap and contention almost, the way the Grizzlies did this year.
My number 10 is also CJ McCollum. For the same reason as you. He's so good with the ball in his hands. He's a great scorer. His playmaking is better. And I think surrounding him, putting him as the point guard was a question mark, but you surround him with a lot of bigger players where he wasn't in Portland. He was on a small ball team for most of his career. No hate against Dame, obviously, because he's, great. But with CJ being the only small player on the court, surrounded by Ingram, Zion, Herb Jones, Jackson Hayes,
Valanciunas.
And Brandon Ingram is also a very plus playmaker for his position. It's a great situation for CJ, and I think next year he's going to flourish and could be in All-Star talks because he's never made an All-Star game, which is still crazy. But CJ's just he's in such a great situation now. I feel like so.
I would love to see New Orleans pump out 3 All-Stars next year.
Yeah,
Ingram, Zion, CJ.
They could. You never know. If they're the best team in the West. Who knows? And I'm not saying they're gonna be, but they easily have the potential to take that
Yeah,
lead.
especially in the regular season. The regular season is not the playoffs.
And they were good in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, they played really good in
they
that
were.
series against Phoenix. They fought hard. They won the play-in tournament. Like, definitely watch out for them next year.
Yeah, for sure. They could be, the next team like the Jazz who just dominate every regular season, and then I think they would make deeper runs. This team
they have the star
is
talent
loaded.
that the Jazz doesn't.
Yeah, and then you have Jose Alvarado, who we forgot to mention.
Exactly. Jose Alvarado, Trey Murphy is getting better off the bench. Who'd they draft? They had drafted Dyson Daniels at 8th overall.
This team is scary loaded. It looks very good.
100%.
My number 9 is DeJounte Murray.
It's so funny that you caught yourself doing
But I keep doing it.
I know. And it's funny because it's exactly how I said it.
Yeah.
Number 9 is a guy.
Number 9 is DeJounte Murray.
Yes.
I would love to stick him higher on this list, but he hasn't proven enough.
Yeah.
He's a great defender, great playmaker, really good offensive player, kind of does it all on offense, doesn't really have any holes in his game. I think he will flourish next to Trae Young. They're testing out the Toronto Raptors dual backcourt, dual point guard system. I hope that's what they do. I'm really excited to see what he can do in Atlanta this year.
DeJounte Murray and Trae Young, John Collins at that crossover game 2 was super
Freaky.
hype.
Didn't they
super
lose?
hype. I actually have no clue, but it was just like flash. Like, did you see the one play where Trae Young nutmegged the dude, threw it up, and DeJounte caught it, went for a reverse layup, and then threw it off the glass to Collins? Like, that play's crazy.
It was like, huh?
And shout out DeJounte Murray for saying the tweet about like all you NBA players need to get in these pro-am games because not everyone can come pay money to come see us play in the regular season. So these games are for free. Like, I know y'all like love to hoop, so come do it here. Like, shout out, that's real,
And show what you're about.
Exactly.
Let's see you play some
They're trying to
not
put on a
NBA
show.
hoopers.
Exactly. Like, they weren't. Obviously, if they did lose, they're not trying to put their heart and soul into winning. They're trying to put on a show, which is exactly what those guys are there to see, which is great.
Yeah, I would love for us to. I don't know where we go. I mean, Seattle's like the closest, other than like the Drew League. It's the only two I can think of.
Yeah.
The crossovers in Seattle, the Drew Leagues.
There's definitely a bunch of other pro-am leagues, but like just not very notable.
High level.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like, what was the
crossover.
one that Peyton Pritchard dropped 90 in or whatever? Like, that was a random pro-am league.
I have no idea.
Yeah, exactly.
No idea.
My number 9 is also DeJounte Murray. Like you said, he really popped out this year. A really good offensive player. He became a lot better shooter this year. Obviously, one of the better on-ball defenders in the entire NBA. He's really long. And like you said, he's going to be great with Trae Young. I did want to put him higher, too. Like, I definitely thought he deserved to be higher.
His skill set just screams should be higher.
Exactly. Like, he's a great two-way player, good playmaker, good rebounder, can score, can finish at the rim really well. You'd think he'd be higher, but like you said, he's got more to prove. And playing with Trae Young, we'll see if that benefits his game or knocks him down lower. Who knows?
I really hope he leans to flourish.
Yeah. And I honestly think DeJounte Murray is the guy that 100% will flourish. Trae Young's the guy that's the question mark, I guess. So we'll see. But, yeah, DeJounte, number 9.
My number 8 is Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine does everything you ask him to do. He is only asked to score the basketball. He's a solid defender. Mid. I wouldn't even call him a solid playmaker. He's but he could score the shit out of that ball, and he proved that this year. Playing off of DeMar DeRozan in Chicago, they started off extremely hot. Weren't able to carry it. I mean, they played like their first 16 games. They played like the bottom 12 teams in the league,
And they were like the 1 seed like for most of the year, too.
Yeah, and then fell out, and everybody knew in the playoffs they were only there because their first half of the year. But LaVine played well this year. DeMar played great this year. It was really interesting to see LaVine take a backseat again.
Yeah, it was.
And I'm really hopeful to see what Chicago does this next year. I think they'll be a solid again.
Yeah.
But LaVine he does exactly what's needed from him for his team, which just isn't a lot.
I agree. My number 8 is Fred VanVleet of the Toronto Raptors. Definitely like one of the better two-way guards in the NBA. I know we just said that about DeJounte Murray, but Fred VanVleet had a really, really good year this year. One of the best shooters in the NBA this season, especially from deep range. The dude was shooting so many deep threes this year, defends the ball like crazy, and he's like Cj McCollum. He plays as a small guard on a team filled with a lot of big players, a lot of big defenders, and it really helps his game out a lot. Fred VanVleet is not a shooting guard, so once again, I want to get that out there. He's a point guard, and I think he will help this Raptors team be good again this year. And he made his first All-Star appearance last year, like definitely deserved it. and he's going to get another bag. I think he did get another bag, actually. I think he got extended like a huge contract. So
Yeah, shout out Freddie.
Shout out Freddie. Like
out the mud.
Exactly. Like Raptors took a chance on him, ditching Kyle Lowry and making Freddie the full-time one, and it has worked out 100% so far. So he's my number 8.
My number 7 is Fred VanVleet. Everything you said about Freddie is so true. As Kyle Lowry walked out the door, Fred VanVleet stepped up and said, "I'll be Kyle Lowry. I will do exactly what he did for the next 10 years, the same way Kyle Lowry did." It's really cool for Raptors fans that they've just had this consistency at point guard for so long now. And Fred VanVleet doesn't look like he's going anywhere.
Yeah.
And this Raptors team is scary coming up for the next couple seasons. They should 100%. Be competitors for a long time. And Freddie's at the head of that. Him and Pascal are, the top of that.
A lot of young talent on that team, too.
And,
sure.
We definitely could see a guy like Scotty Barnes step up and make that a big 3 damn near. But, man, Fred VanVleet does everything right on the court. And defensively, I never gave him the credit he deserved a couple of years ago.
Especially for how small he is. Yeah.
He is clamps. And he puts his heart into it.
Like,
He is all heart on defense.
I mean, the dude is 6'1" on a good day. He is a small guard and plays great defense. Guys that are like that are positive defenders, are, like, in my eyes, because obviously, and probably yours too, because we are not the tallest guys.
Short kings.
That it takes some serious effort and skill. And, by the way, let's not forget to mention that the Pistons are the Raptors' dads. I just want to put that out there.
Dwayne knows everything.
We own the Raptors. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, he knows what Nick.
Because Raptors fans on Twitter this offseason really been going at the Pistons. Don't know why, because we own them.
Do they not realize that Cade Cunningham is better than Scotty Barnes? Get that through your head.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, you got Rookie of the Year. Okay, well, guess what? Cade is going to be an MVP of the league. Sure, we'll take your Rookie of the Year trophy.
Go for it,
I like Scotty Barnes. This isn't going at Scotty Barnes.
This
is going at Raptors fans.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's pretty much
We got to dislike some fandoms.
Trade for KD. I dare you. I dare you to do it. See what happens. All right, my number 7 is Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is a tough one because I think I had him at, number 3 last year. And yes, he was hurt for most of the year, so I can't just knock him for being hurt because he's still one of the most elite scorers in the NBA as far as a 3-level scorer. He's probably still a top 5 to top 10 3-level scorer in the league. But I just think some of these other guys have gotten a lot better, and Bradley Beal is still – he's not on that 30 points per game level. I'm not looking. He's not on that 30 points per game level that he was at 2 years ago, scoring champ. But the Wizards also apparently might get KD. They said they might make a push for KD. Bradley Beal's the biggest bag chaser in the NBA. He don't care about winning. He cares about his money, which I guess I respect.
Yeah. And he's loyal.
And yeah, exactly. He's loyal. I like Bradley Beal.
Yeah,
he's definitely a very likable guy. He's pretty funny, too, all the videos about him off the court.
Yeah, I love how involved he is with his AAU team.
Yeah, definitely.
That shit is awesome when he's talking really to those dudes. That shit is – it's just exactly what high-level basketball players need to hear.
Yeah, especially younger guys like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so Beal's my number 7. It sucks having him this low, but, yeah, he's just my number 7.
My number 6 is Bradley Beal. So it looks like you like Levine a little bit more than I do.
A little bit more, just a little bit.
Bradley Beal, man, do I wish he was on a competent basketball team, because the only knock he has is winning. I mean, he's a solid defender, but there's no reason to be a good defender if you're on a shit team. I assume he's a good playmaker, or at least solid.
Yeah, he's solid.
But who is he going to play make to? He's got nobody to freaking pass the ball to. Denny Avdija, what's he going to do with that? So he's very similar to Levine.
I keep forgetting they have Porzingis.
Dude, that is hype. That's going to be fun next.
Keep forgetting about that.
Me too. I am excited to watch Bradley Beal again. 30 points per game. I don't know if he'll ever reach that again.
But 25, for sure.
He's just such a freaky scorer. Shout out Bradley Beal.
Yeah. My number 6 is Zach Levine. I have Zach Levine above these guys because I do respect Zach Levine, like you said, how he took a back seat this year to DeMar DeRozan, where he was the guy for Chicago, never been in the playoffs, he's never been a part of a winning team, put up really good stats, kind of got that Devin Booker treatment, where DeMar DeRozan comes in and Levine is willing to be that number 2 option, and he was still had a really good year. Obviously, he was an all-star. I think Levine is I think he is almost a better 3-level scorer. I think he's one of the top in the league. just because like he is just so elite attacking the rim, and he hits threes like crazy. Like he is a really good 3-point shooter.
I love how low he gets when he starts attacking the lane.
Exactly.
He gets way low.
Levine is a guy that I feel like I want to put him higher, but he's definitely not in that top 5 range. But we'll see how he got the bag this offseason. So Chicago, I don't know how good they're going to be. Eventually, he is going to take back over as that number 1. Like, DeMar's not going to be that guy for much longer. So Levine could get back up to that 25, 26, 7 points per game. He's my number 6.
My number 5 is Donovan Mitchell. This is a guy who, for a long time, was and still is the only offensive option on his team for the most part, scoring the ball wise. This is kind of where my knock against Bradley Beal was like, it just feels like you haven't done enough with what you've had.
Right.
Not that what he's had is great, but like Mitchell has not had a ton and been like really, really elite right when he stepped in. Obviously, he had really good role players, but that doesn't make you a good team. You still need your good superstar to lead your role players. And we'll see how Rudy Gobert, how truly good he is. Obviously, he's a great defender and a great guy to have behind your 6-foot point guard, Donovan Mitchell. But Donovan Mitchell, his ability to just carry the Jazz to be so good for so long is so impressive. And you just can't knock
year
it.
one. And
Gordon Hayward left.
Scorer, and like was their best player ever since he was a rookie.
Took him on a deep-ass playoff run. His very first playoffs.
He's made the playoffs every single year of his career. And he's been really good in the playoffs every year, too.
Yep, absolutely. Shout out D-Mitch.
Yeah, my number 5 is also Donovan Mitchell. It's just weird because I don't know what's going to happen with him this offseason. Like, is he still going to be on the Jazz? Who knows? I hope not. Like, I hope the Jazz just blow it up. It'd make the preseason standings prediction a lot easier. So that's mainly why I want him to be gone. But yeah, Donovan Mitchell, it's hard putting him at 5. Like, I really feel like he deserves to be higher. He didn't have the great, like he definitely had not a down year this year, but didn't like explode like I kind of expected him to. The Jazz's entire team just looked a little off this year. Without Rudy Gobert, his defense really got like exposed this season in games that Rudy Gobert missed. Rudy Gobert even came out and publicly said that he wishes his team had better perimeter defenders like Devin Booker, which is just hilarious because those two have been compared like their whole careers. And so I'm interested to see if he is still on the Jazz. How good will he be on the defensive side of the ball? Obviously, offensively, we know what he brings to the table. So whatever team he's on, I still really like watching him play. He's my number 5.
Yeah, as much of a shot as that is, it feels like at Donovan Mitchell. I feel like it's a shot at the front office for getting Bogdanovich, Ingles, and Donovan Mitchell to be and Jordan Clarkson.
And Mike Conley, who... Yeah, he is a good defender, but he's like 36 now. Like, he's old.
That might be the shittiest perimeter defensive team ever.
Yeah.
Like, you take out Rudy Gobert, there is not a plus defender on the roster.
Literally, when the games that Rudy Gobert missed, they were like the worst defense in the league, and then Gobert comes back, and they're like top 10.
Yeah.
Like, it's just odd.
Yeah, why do you, as an organization, why are you like, let's just be the worst perimeter defenders, but at least we got this guy in the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's sacrifice it all.
Speaking of that, do you think Cat's going to be listed as power forward when we do our list?
This year?
Yeah, like right now when we do it this year.
Probably a center still.
Probably still, yeah.
It'll
But
probably
I
go
guess
into next
DeJounte
year.
was a shooting guard already, but yeah, but I would assume
maybe.
that. I would assume they're both still centers.
I feel like they might have just left DeJounte from San Antonio.
Maybe, yeah.
As a 2-guard.
Maybe.
My number 4 is Jaylen Brown, coming off finals appearance. Doesn't have any holes in his game, other than he's a little inconsistent in big moments. He feels extremely streaky when, the big shot comes a knock in, it's Tatum. Rarely is Jaylen Brown. I mentioned this on the podcast earlier, but he doesn't just like score the whole game. It doesn't feel like he's going to have 10 points this quarter, 10 points this quarter, 10 points this quarter.
Yeah, it's definitely in spurts.
It's, I'm going to have 17 this quarter for the next quarter. And I don't know. I think it's just way harder to game plan as an offense when you don't know what you're going to get out of your superstar each quarter. And that's the only knock I have on Jaylen. It's not a knock. He's a top 4 shooting guard in the NBA. He's a monster defensively, offensively. His playmaking continues to improve. And him and Jason Tatum look like they're one of the best young duos in the league for who knows how much longer.
Exactly. Yeah, is he going to get traded? I don't know.
I said it for like 8 years last year, but who knows anymore.
Yeah.
He's my number 4.
My number 4 is the hardest guy on this list to rank. It's James Harden. James Harden last year and for the last so many years has easily been the number one shooting guard in the NBA. No debate. Even after last year with his first year with the Brooklyn Nets. Clearly this season, James Harden had a regression. I think it's pretty obvious. Not that it was bad. They still have him as the fourth best shooting guard in the NBA. But he is a point guard, too. I do want to put that out there. Mm-hmm. He definitely has become much more of a playmaker nowadays and not looking to score as much. That's why he chose to go play with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. That's why he wanted to go play with Joel Embiid. I definitely don't knock Harden for doing that. I know that he's obviously a team hopper or whatever, but I appreciate that he realizes where he is at this point in his career. He's not the 36 points per game dude that we saw. Yeah, he'll still do the step back, but he's just not that guy anymore.
Yeah, it's just not. He it's. And you feel it when you play basketball. Mm-hmm. You lose your mojo every once in a while.
Yeah, 100%.
Your go-to move just doesn't feel the same anymore. I think Harden just lost his mojo scoring the ball wise. It's everything else still there.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason I still have him as number 4 is because he easily is the best playmaker on this list. He is an elite playmaker still, especially with Joel Embiid. Obviously, things didn't end well for them in the playoffs, but Joel Embiid was hurt. I'm not saying that things would have been differently if he was healthy, but it just put a lot on James Harden to become that guy again when he literally hadn't been since joining the Sixers.
Yeah, it had been so long, and there's no time like the playoffs to try doing it again.
Yeah, exactly. Harden is still going to average his 20 points this year, probably 10 or 11 assists, and he's still a great guy with the ball in his hand. He's still going to hit shots. He's just not as elite of a scorer as he used to be. Still got him at number 4, though.
Yeah, my number 3 is James Harden, and like you said, I had no idea how to rank this guy going in.
It's so hard. I almost put him at 6.
His regression has been so extreme, but his regression is so different than anybody else because he regressed from 35 points a game every night, most time 40-point triple-doubles, to 20 and 11. He's still been great.
Exactly.
Everywhere he goes, he has been great. And there's been just so much drama surrounding him. He wasn't happy in Brooklyn. That's clear as day to everybody. So I want to see him have a full year with a full roster, which the 76ers should put out and should be really good this year.
They made some great additions this offseason.
And, is he playing with his buddy P.J. Tucker? I could see his scoring numbers jump back up to 24 points a game this year. And maybe, sitting on 10 assists. I am extremely excited to see what Harden does this season.
Which also the NBA is apparently the punishments for the tampering with the Sixers and with the Knicks for Jaylen Brunson are going to be pretty harsh, I've heard.
Because they're so sick of it?
Yeah, I guess. But because what were the 2 teams that did it last year? The Heat and the Bucks, I think. They each got a second taken away in the draft, which still is a big deal, but taking away a first obviously would be a lot bigger. But the Sixers don't even have
the Hawks and the Kings also get in trouble?
I don't know if they did. Well, it was because of the Bucks got it because of Bogey, but I don't know if they got. I don't think they got. But the Bulls never got the Lonzo shit. They didn't.
Yeah, I don't think
trouble for that. So I don't know.
Who knows?
My number 3 is Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown performed really well in this year's playoffs. Obviously, this team went to the finals, and I think Jaylen Brown is the second best two-way player on this list. Because his defense is elite, his shooting has become really elite. He does it all, really. He might be one of the best all-around players on this list. He handles it well, he play makes, all the things that you said. And him and Jason Tatum feed so well off each other. Will he get traded for Kevin Durant? I don't know. If the Nets, if that's the offer that the Celtics have, a Jaylen Brown package, I don't see how you can't do it as the Nets. Because Jaylen Brown is so elite and so young still. I know I'm getting off topic, but I feel like the Nets are just going to end up not trading anyone, and Kevin Durant's going to end up coming back, and they're going to be really good.
Yeah,
so
they're just going to run it back.
They have a good team. If none of the Kyrie and KD drama were to even happen, they had a pretty good offseason.
Yeah,
They added Royce O'Neal, T.J. Warren, and somebody else too.
They'd be a favorite.
Yeah,
without the drama,
exactly.
They're a favorite to win the NBA Finals.
So, but that's it. But Jaylen Brown is number 3.
Yeah, and I have no problem with you taking him over Harden. No issue with that.
It was tough. It was tough.
Harden's just so hard to rank.
He is.
My number 2 is Devin Booker. This guy.
Excuse me.
The hardest guy to be a fan of for me because of Paul.
You like Devin Booker, though.
I love Devin
Booker. Yeah,
Booker.
exactly. I was going to say.
But is he soft? Hell yeah.
Dude is soft.
Will he be a Piston?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes, he will be a Piston eventually.
Do I love the way he scores the ball? Hell yeah. Man, Devin Booker does it all well. We saw when Chris Paul went out and D-Book started playing point guard, the dude can play make. He can frickin' pass. The Suns looked great without Chris Paul. They looked better with Chris Paul. But I have nothing else to even say about Devin Booker that I haven't said for a long time.
Exactly. Devin Booker is my number 2. Same thing as you. Like, he's the best scorer on this list as far as pure score. Like, he just finds so many ways to put the ball in the hoop. In the mid-range, he's deadly. Was it fun to see the Suns fall off this year and crumble? Yeah, it was. I'm not going to lie. Booker's soft, like he is. He is going to be on the Pistons, though, so I can't hate on him that much.
That's what I'm saying.
But for now, yeah, I guess I can hate on him a little bit. But it's just funny because, like, Ivan obviously is a Suns fan. And when you have a fan or when you have a friend that is like a fan of a different team that like isn't like a Detroit team, you have to go at him for
You got to let him hear it.
You have to because it's just like a bandwagon move. You know, Steelers, Suns. It's just a bad. But the Rams is different though.
Yeah,
because Matt Stafford's on the Rams, so I will root for them. That's much different.
We have a lot of rules.
Exactly, and a lot of rules that make no sense. But I'm surprised that you did Booker at 2 over the guy you have at number 1. I really am happy that you went that route.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Do you want? We can talk about.
Yeah, go say it.
My number 1 is. Did you say it? Did you ever say my number 2 is?
I haven't. Oh, yeah, I did say my number 2 is Booker. Yeah.
My number 1 is Paul George. D-Book just hasn't quite gotten to the level where he's more skilled at every aspect of the game as Paul George. D-Book is a plus defender, absolutely. He's an incredible scorer. He's an incredible playmaker. You know what he doesn't have? The handles. The elite ball handling that 6'9" shooting guard Paul George
and the defense
has.
of Paul George.
And that's just it. The fact that Paul George is 6'9" and plays the 2 is kind of a cheat code. Like, obviously, I'm going to – if any of these guys are put in front of me and it's like take one, it's like I'm taking –
And you, like, never watched a game of basketball yet.
Yeah, I'm pointing at Paul George and going, that guy looks like a freak.
Yeah.
Like, if he's a top 10 player in the league,
Exactly.
he's probably nuts.
I 100% agree.
Devin Booker hasn't reached the levels that Paul George has reached skill-wise. And the Clippers easily could come out and win the finals this next year, fully healthy.
I'd say they're the favorite in the West. I mean the Warriors. But despite the Warriors, I say they're the favorite, 100%. John Wall added to that team. People forgot how good John Wall is. I know he hasn't played in 3 years, but like
that's part of my issue with picking him as favorites. I don't know if I can buy into the John Wall will be good. Yet.
Oh, I'm buying
and
it.
I know
I am buying it.
Do you think it is because of your Paul George biasy?
No. It's my John Wall bias. I love, dude. John Wall was like my favorite player growing up, dude. Like
he was
I
fire.
loved John Wall.
He's Russell
I have that
Westbrook
John Wall
before
shirt
Russ.
jersey. My number 1 is also Paul George. Paul George is like literally one of the best all-around players in the entire league. Like he's not top 5 in the league, but he's a top 5 all-around player in the league. He does everything you want. He's an elite shooter, elite handle, elite defender, great rebounder. He's a pretty good playmaker. Like he does it all. Like he's just such a, and I'm obviously a huge Paul George fan. Like obviously, so
Are you?
That helps.
Yeah.
But I just think Paul George falls into that category of people kind of forgot how good he was because of the injury this year. He was having an elite season as the main dude on the Clippers this year because Kawhi was hurt. Then he got hurt. And he probably would have been an All-NBA, maybe first-team guy if he finished out the season. So Paul George is going to remind everyone how good he is this year. And the Clippers in general are because Kawhi Leonard is coming back. Paul George is back. John Wall's back. Like, that team is going to be really good.
Team's going to be nasty.
Exactly. And they might have the best team in the West right now. Like, who knows? So
yeah, I'm really excited to watch the Clippers this year. Paul George is kind of similar to, like, KD in the way that you never see them doing the most.
Yeah.
They're never going out and getting 45.
Right.
They're
That's
getting
true.
the most efficient 30 you've ever seen.
Exactly. Yeah, very true.
And that's where Paul George is forgotten about and will walk.
Especially with Kawhi on his team, too.
Oh, man. And that video of Kawhi the other day. Kawhi
Dude looks
massive.
buff. Dude looks big. Yeah,
he looks
exactly.
good. He looks real good.
All right, everybody. That's it. Go check us out and everything. I really got to pee, so
yeah, peace.
Bye.